this is the month of the wolf and celebration of my single Power of the Wolf, which is available on all platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, all of the above now, and I'd love if you could check it out. Now, this song is a traditional Nordic lullaby, and it's sung by the beautiful Jonna Jinton, and she is this multi-talented woman who does all the cinematography herself. She makes jewellery, and she sings like an angel. Oh, it gets me in the soul. So simple but beautiful. It makes me want to cry.
Vargen ylar i nattens skog. Han vill men kan inte sova. Hungern river hans varga buk. Och det är kallt i hans stova.
So if you haven't heard this style of singing before, it's a style of singing called kulning. It's essentially yodeling in that, not technically, but in that it's a type of call to call your cattle. And because of the tones, that kind of piercing direct sound, it travels really, really well across the mountains, which means that the cows can hear you from a very long distance. And people often think, oh, it's quite similar to head voice. But there's a softer sound to head voice that could get lost, and it gets more distorted over distance. There's a directness that you hear. There is specific frequencies that you hear that help it travel that a little bit further, and it's very, very distinct and ethereal and beautiful. And I love the wolf sounds in this.
Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig.
Here we go. It's interesting because it kind of sounds a little bit like wolves in its own way, but there's also a theory that it was used to scare away predators as well, because they didn't really know what it was, and it's such a loud and direct sound. It also just sounds, it's just so beautiful, isn't it? It really, really feels like it's part of nature. It makes you imagine those beautiful snowy mountains, the pine trees. It's so wonderful. And you should really check out Jonna Jinton's other art. She paints as well, and she uses, I think, natural textures from the earth. I think something about her that makes her so popular and so relatable. Not really relatable, but wonderful to watch is that she's really authentic. She lives in the north of Sweden, and she is someone who is out there living in a beautiful little cottage, and this is her life. And I think in our modern world, it's so wonderful to see someone live so close to more ancient ways.
Vargen ylar i nattens skog. Ylar av hunger och klagan. Men jag ska ge en grisasvans. Sånt passar i varje magar. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig.
I want to point out that this lower stuff is more of a lullaby. You wouldn't hear the da da over the long distances. It's when you get this high kind of floaty stuff, I'll point out again, which is more kilning. Although you do have that tonal quality. You hear it in artists like Aurora that comes through and it has that really direct sound. It doesn't mean that she has things like that low larynx that you might get in opera that gives it a really big sound. It's probably not as low as that. It's medium to probably a little bit high. And there's not as much vibrato. It's quite still with maybe a little bit of very natural vibrato at the end rather than a big wobbly vibrato. I love the kind of drony synth underneath as well. Killing now. I love this isn't tuned as well, I can hear. Beautiful.
Vargen ylar i nattens skog. Han vill men kan inte sova. Hungern river hans varga buk. Och det är kallt i hans stova.
I wonder why there's so much wolf mythology in Nordic music.
Kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig.
Do you think that our heritage runs through us? Like, this means a lot to me, and I know I did like a genealogy thing and found out that I have a lot of Viking genes, and it makes sense. Actually, my granddad, where the red hair comes from, came from Norwich, which is not Scotland, and that is where there was a big Viking settlement, and so it probably came through from that, and I can really feel that, and there is a lot of similarities to Celtic music as well. Do you feel like something in your heritage, whatever that may be, does that speak to you? Do you find things that you're like, oh yeah, that really gets me, and it turns out, oh, actually someone in my past, it speaks to something that is from deep within generations back? I wonder if that's a thing or that's just nostalgia. What do you think? Ooh. Beautiful. I loved that. I think it was so beautiful. It just took you away to another world. And I would really recommend checking out Jonna Jinton's YouTube channel. She has so many amazing, beautiful videos, beautiful cinematography, and all her art as well. Talented lady. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe. And also please go check out my song, Power of the Wolf. I hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one. Bye.